beautiful friends. I hope that you are doing well today. I hope you feel like you're having a good hair day. I don't know that I am, but I don't hate it either. I am recording this video on the day of the full moon on June 11th, 2025. And I'm recording this video, however, for how these energies apply to the solstice, which is when I will be posting this video on June 20th. So this is a pre-reading, and it's also using the energies if there's clearing that come with this full moon. We're going to start off by checking in with the internal energies of the feminine and then the masculine. Ooh, very, very mirrored. I'm liking this. What does the shared energy want us to know for this? All right. Ooh, interesting. Okay, I'm going to do external energy, and I'm building the suspense right now. I can tell you a great story. I, yesterday, sat down outside next to my stream to just do a little meditation by my stream, and I looked over at my wild strawberry patch. And what did I see? But so many freaking strawberries. I was so excited because I've lived here for 4 years, and I think maybe I get like 3 wild strawberries a year. And this year I almost filled up a tiny mason jar with them. So that was really exhilarating for me. All right. And external for the masculine. We're almost there, I promise. How are you experiencing abundance in your life? What's moving through? Okay. Wow. Okay. We got some really good stuff moving forward. I'm happy to, I'm going to start sharing it with you. We're probably going to draw some more cards, but, this is the buffer time. I can put in the notes that the reading actually starts at 2 minutes in. Anyway, so for the feminine, as it relates to the solstice, also is how it relates to this full moon. We have got the 9 of moons, so the 9 of pentacles. Now, what's very interesting is this card appeared to me in a dream the other night. Just the 9 of pentacles card. It came out loud and clear. So what I feel like with the 9 of pentacles is this is a very homely energy specifically for this card. So what I feel like this solstice energy mixed with this full moon is bringing about actually a lot of introspection, a lot of cultivating home. I'm also sensing just like a great sense of gratitude. There's a sense of completion of the old life as we merge into the new life. And this is brought forth because the masculine is doing the major arcana of this. He is also enjoying some aggressive healing as a little badger inside of his little hermit house. All right, so this is the hermit here. As far as how this deck portrays these cards, I would say this is the minor arcana of this major arcana. So I really feel like the masculine and feminine are in a similar frequency as it relates to this full moon moving in and to the summer solstice. Now it's interesting because usually the solstice it's the longest day of the year, right? It's the most light coming through. But I love that the most light coming through is coming through to this inner perspective. Now, the card that came out for the shared energy is the Folly, which is the same as the Tower card. Now, I've been experiencing the Tower card, as lightning insight lately. So that it's just, and even the way that it's pictured here, it's like the top has come off, and there's all of these crows, all of these ravens. Are they going in? Are they going out? Who knows? But they are dancing a sacred spiral. So what I feel is like what's being said here is the internal work that's happening between the masculine and feminine right now is really profound and accelerated with the light of this full moon as it leads up to these solstice energies. So I think that the light coming through that is creating more balance for many of us at this time. It's starting within. So you might not see as much active connection happening externally. However, as we look at the external energies, for the feminine we have strength, and for the masculine we have King of Wands, okay? Both of these cards are also incredibly mirrored, right? You've got a woman who's half lion, half woman. You've got a man who's like hanging out with the lion, okay? So what it shows me is both the masculine and the feminine. There's also the gentleness of the lamb here, and, he's holding his I always want to call it a lingam because it's literally a light wand. It is a wand of light. That is what the word lingam means. He's not holding his actual lingam. We're not getting into that. It's not that type of reading. But we're having fun. Anyway, so this is really beautiful, these energies that are happening between these two, because there's a very similar mirroring component, right? But now the feminine has the major arcana and the masculine has the minor. But he still has a king. So what this says to me about the external energies that are going on in union is what we might see is the feminine stepping forward more, being more in her truth, more in her radiance, more in her power. I am a Leo also, so this is my favorite card. But what I find in my own energy is it's just like I'm not playing small for anyone anymore. And I was actually, I'll probably do this next, but I was almost guided to do a reading specifically on the ways that we play small and how to not contribute to that anymore. So that might be the next one you can tune into. There might be a clearing, healing. It might be a clear reading, as we like to call it here on Prism Healers. Anyway, so here with the King of Wands, he's feeling the support of the feminine behind him as he steps forward and into his truth. What I love about the King of Wands, and I really like it in the Forest enchantment deck, because it's just like the sorcerer who's like got a dragon and he's like conducting flame from his heart. But I feel a lot of that. There's also a tiny lizard, and it's very elusive there, but it's connected to his heart energy. So what I feel like is we're seeing the men step forward into the shared dream. Now, this might be my optimistic reading of it, but we are getting a lot of the similar cards, and I've been, I don't usually follow other channels because I like to stay a clear conduct myself, but I've felt called to connect with other healers and watch the content that they're putting out, because I'm noticing that there's such similar themes, and we're actually, the way each of us are relaying the truths of the themes moving forward are unique and specific to how we share the information. But it's a lot of the same stuff. And it's not general. It's really specific with the masculine and feminine in this dance and this dynamic. So I'm feeling really good about this. There's also, she's got this union energy, and it's so interesting. I've been feeling called to put all these like symbols on my arms lately. I'm like, I'm going to have a sleeve by the end of the summer. I won't, but it's a fun idea to think that I could be a tattooed woman. I have 2 tiny tattoos, y'all. So they're very tiny. And this is henna. So anyway, and this is a dragonfly that's impermanent. Okay, so the shared energies. I know you're dying to know. Externally, what does this look like? All right. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. So this is in the shared energy. So what this shows me is that the shared energy is grounding down into physical union. We do have a male and a female counterpart that both popped out for this shared energy. Now, and they're both pentacles, so it shows me that we're doing the work in the physical, okay? We have the horse, which brings power and stamina moving forward, and I'm really seeing that. I love this trail. I'm a little curious as to what exactly these cards mean together. I'm feeling the feminine strength. I'm feeling this Queen of Pentacles energy very strong. But what does it mean together? Because I do feel like blessings are coming forth. Okay. Interesting. So the 3 of Cups comes up, which is a card of unity. It's a card of collaboration. This has been coming up a lot in readings as well. This 3 of Cups energy is coming together. It is celebrating. It's being in the joy. Also looks like these ladies particularly are looking up at maybe one of the dippers. So what could this mean? Are couples dipping into actually being in physical union? It feels to me like that is a high probability. I know that with the masculine in my life, I'm seeing them step forward in more and more exhilarating ways than I have ever seen before. They're more in their truth. They're more grounded from the perspectives they're sharing from. They're more self-aware. I'm also finding that in my own connections and with the women in my life. I really feel like the feminine rising and rewilding, but like also being grounded. It's not like I love hanging out by the stream and running around naked in nature just as much as anybody else. But what I find in this is you also have to be grounded. This is a silly story, but I was sent an insult a couple months ago, and I was being compared to, it was like, you're just like rainbow and seaweed. And I was like, excuse me? Like, don't call me rainbow and seaweed. I don't have anything against people who rename themselves rainbow or seaweed. I think those are great names if that's what resonates with you and you want to move forward in your life is. I've kept my birth name because I like it. I identify as a Haley, and I like my name, and I like to embody the presence of what that name means for me. If I really think about it, it gets a little weird in my head, but that's irrelevant right now. Anyway, I was being compared to these people, and what was actually being said there is just like, you're this ungrounded hippie who just has these stupid dreams and no concrete reality. And those words really hurt, right? And that is a perception of a lot of people who aren't understanding what the spiritual path is actually about, which is liberating and is finding your liberation and being free. However, you have to be free and grounded simultaneously. If everyone in the tribe was just running around swimming in waterfalls all the day, nobody would freaking eat. And it doesn't have to be, not everyone has to be the hunter or the gatherer, but in community, we all work together to achieve that. So, we really want this grounded, like, this is an earth mama right here. She is a grounded queen. She has gone out, she's spent time in nature, she listens to the rhythms of nature, she knows what the bigger picture of things is communicating, and she takes that all into consideration and holds it as she moves forward from both a logical and an emotionally grounded choice. All right, so and I did those opposite when I said that, right? I think I did. Well, anyway, regardless, that's what she's up to, and that's what we're looking for. We have to be grounded in our spiritual nature. It feels really good to stay up here in these higher realms, but we also have to come down and like really look and assess, like, is this working for me? Is this the type of communication that I want? How can I cultivate more of the type of communication I want moving forward? Are the people in my life showing up in this communication? And I feel like this Knight of Pentacles, like, he's bringing a lot of the abundance to support the Queen. Like, I like that she's holding this pinnacle. Okay, so with the Three of Cups coming, I really feel like people are working together. It's, I think the Three of Cups in this thing isn't just representative of the female coming together with other females, which has been extraordinarily healing and helpful right now. It also represents the unity of the masculine, the feminine, and the Holy Spirit, or of the sacred union. And that's why I always read the third energy between pairs, because the third energy is teaching us so much as how to do that bridge. All right. So I'm really curious as to where this is going. And I'm actually going to switch decks and use it's like a learning. Look at it's Nine of Cups. I thought it was Nine of Pentacles. Anyway, it's like a learning tarot deck, but I feel like there's going to be extra messages that usually I don't tune into coming in. So where is this all headed for the masculine? I don't know why I started with masculine there. And for the feminine? Okay. This is looking really good, you guys. And what about for the third energy? What does the third energy want us to know about where this is going? Yeah. This is hot stuff. Okay, so I drew the masculine first. I know usually it's ladies first, but right now it's the masculine. And he got the High Priestess. Okay, so I really feel that part of this awakening that's happening with the masculine is they are coming more into their heart energies, their sacred heart energies, and that, like, what's beautiful about the High Priestess is there's such a component of this elusive world, the world of dreams, of intuition. The masculine are learning more to follow their intuition. Now, it's always been available to them. However, they've been suppressing it. Many of them have been suppressing it with other components for a long time, and that hasn't been helpful. Okay. I just love this so much. The feminine, the High Priestess, symbolic of the moon, right? And it's card number 2, which has been coming up as a strong masculine number lately. Okay, so next for the feminine, we have the sun. Now, this is all dreams coming true. This also feels to me like this radiant Leo energy, right? This is this is August. Oh, that's the indication here. So the sun, and we're talking about the solstice, we're talking about the longest day of the year, but there's also an indication and a connection to August here, okay? So what I feel like is happening between this full moon, which is when I'm recording the video, and to the summer solstice, which is when I'm posting the video, which is when this message is intended to be delivered, we are getting... hopes and dreams are coming true. We're deepening into that pleasure. We're illuminating in our resonance. This is also the foundations that we're laying in this next week and a half are going to be fundamental for August. I'm getting that as a very strong message. I'm not usually a timeline leader because I literally have very little concept of time. I'm a timely person and I have a good balanced calendar, but as I've said, I feel like I'm jumping all over timelines lately and it's absolutely bizarre. Okay. These cards say, 2, the beginning of projects and creative endeavors. 19, which introduces 1, the number of new beginnings and success. Okay, so what I love is that I feel both of these cards are like about new beginnings and starting new projects and working together. Now, you're gonna love this. It's absolutely magical. It is the Magician, and that is what the shared energy is moving forth to. Okay, so as we're moving forward into this Magician, and the Magician is also number 1, okay? So all of these are, we've got a triad working together so powerfully. The feminine's like, I'm having a great time. Also, look at this baby on a horse. I don't read traditional tarot very much, so like just seeing these images is cracking me up. But it feels to like, we also had this night with the horse. Like, he's bringing her this horse and she's on it and she's like, hell yeah. Oh, maybe that means things are going to get steamy and feel good. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Maybe like summer is a great time for sexual connection. We got the hot and steamy nights. Also just kind of, navigating the difference of the polarities that are happening too. If you happen to be reading this and you're about to experience winter, you get the encodings from where I am and gridded in. But also it's like, I'm not taking that out of account because we have this sun and moon polarity going on here, but it doesn't feel like a polarity. It's not night and day. It's night and day working together. You have to have one without the other. And all of these cards are kind of screaming to this companionship, to this partnership of alchemy. It's an alchemical partnership, you all. All right. And I'm very excited. This card just flat out says the beginning of projects or creative endeavors. So where is this headed? It's headed towards union, y'all. I feel it so strongly in my bones. And like, I started my sacred union journey in 2011, and I kind of started waking up in 2012 and had a lot of downloads, a lot of shift in consciousness, and that spent several years in a dark night of the soul. I haven't shared much of my story on here, and the person I was who initiated me, I feel like that's not the person I was intended to be with, although of course at the time it seemed like it. And I've gone through a lot of other initiations because a lot of my thing is that journey into the underworld and really addressing the shadows. And a lot of it's not like, I didn't have a super hard life. I had some sexual abuse and those sort of things kind of happen and patterns that developed for that, and some abandonment and negligence and that sort of stuff. It wasn't that bad. Look at all the horrible things. But I also had the contrast of a super loving family. My family's always been really supportive of who I am as a human being. Maybe I didn't get all the nourishment that I needed growing up. But it wasn't the worst either. Anyway, I share this because it's like, it wasn't the worst journey on paper. A lot of people experience hardships like that. But for me, it was like, okay, I'm clearing up my family lineage, I'm clearing out my soul group, I'm clearing my soul. And then I've gone into a lot of these deeper relationships because I do believe that union is the fastest way to grow and working in partnership. I went to school for ensemble theater. I really want to work together. And what I found in this work, and the birds are like on fire right now. They're just like, we've got medicine, please take this encoding. That's why I do these videos outside. But so for my journey going into the underworld was clearing out a lot of dense shadows for the collective as well, for the masculine and feminine. And I call, one of the many things I call myself is an acrobat of the light. And a lot of us on the sacred union path are, because we can go to the sun, we can go to the moon, we can go to the depths of despair and come out and still not have lost our radiance, still not have lost our sun. So what I'm really getting here, and there's also there's the energy of Mercury here. We've got the sun, moon, and Mercury. So it really shows me that we're like, that there's a bridge in communication happening overall. And, you know, this is being implemented now. The structures in the next week, or, you know, I'm encoding that energy of it. The things that you've been doing in the last week are impacting where it is that we're going, and specifically for August. What I like too is like, there's, you know, this guy has a very strong magician energy. I really do feel like this is the, you know, these cards, this is the minor arcana of this major arcana here. So we're seeing a lot of things, balance out here. We're seeing a lot of balance between the masculine and feminine, not necessarily polarizing energies, but both are holding. What I find is like, we're both starting to hold our individual perspectives and value and understand the others. For a long time, the feminine made the masculine wrong. And that's not to say some of the stuff they did, it was fucked up, y'all. I'm sorry for my F word, but there was some really bad behaviors that happened, and they were very damaging to the sacred energy as well as to the thing. And a lot of those are distortions, those are things, there's no judgments of that now looking back, but I don't want to devalue the intensity of going through the depths of despair. Because I've been there, and it's not fun, and it's low, and people are concerned, and and it's like, it's, you know, on this journey that it's not about the toxicity. It's like, you have to walk that path to almost understand it, to help to bring new codes into it so that we shatter them. We're not meant to be on these paths of pain anymore. We're meant to be on paths of love and union and celebration. We're meant to start living the happily ever after, all right? And the happily ever after is actually a very co-creative place where two wholes come together and create a shared mission. And they might still continue working on their own, or they might like step away from those, or maybe it just combines in a whole. There's a lot of different ways of how happily ever after is moving forward, but we should get really excited about that. I'm going to draw one more plant medicine card and then one shamanic oracle just to close us out. What is the conclusive energies of this reading here today? All right, shape-shifting. All right, really feels to me, this feels like a toss back to another reading the other day, where our like DNA was getting activated in these mountains and with these things. But I really, as I look at this card, and we have the elusive dragonfly. This must have come up directly in a reading, but it looks like we have the feminine and the masculine, and it looks like the masculine is going up to more spirit, and the feminine is being a little more earthed. They could also just be the same spirits, but the message here of the shape shifting to me feels like this very elusive of like the polarities are coming together to make dreams kind of come true. All right, that's how I'm going to interpret that card. It could mean something completely different, but that's the general energy I'm getting. What are you getting? Tell me in the comments. And lastly, we have transformation. So this is what this is similar, but a more earthed, grounded version. We've got the caterpillar here. There was a reading, a clearing that I did the other day that connected specifically to a caterpillar energies and butterfly. So feel free to connect with this. I feel like these two definitely go together. I think what the big message that I'm getting is like, we're actively transforming now. Of course, we've got the tower, so we know that there's things, but this is like, it's not like, it's almost like we are actively bursting out of the cocoon at this point, and we're learning how to fly with our new wings, all right? And it's a little sloppy because they're filled with like weird cocoon juices, and like they're wet, and it's hard to, we got to get our wings a little dry, and luckily we're doing that with these hot suns. And I do believe that that's also happening down under, if you're in the southern hemisphere. So this was really great. It was so lovely connecting with you all. I hope that this reading resonated. If you want to check in on your own personal journey, let's schedule a reading. All you have to do is send me an email, and I'll let you know what my rates are and what my availability is. And I look forward to connecting with more of you and hearing your stories and your journeys. So, all right. Happy summer solstice, happy winter solstice, happy full strawberry moon. I'm going to go eat some of those delicious strawberries I picked yesterday. Many blessings. Aho.